We're replacing a motor on a 2017 Ford Escape. This is what happens when we run out of oil.
Alright, we're going to be removing this motor today. As you can see from the previous video, you could see it was knocking pretty bad. First thing it has us do is remove this air box. Other than that, just a few electrical connections around here. And then I'll get back to you when we get the air box off and some of the connectors out of the way. Alright, got the air filter box out. Literally just needed a 7mm to get that hose clamp out. Other than that, it was just this clip right here. I unplugged the throttle body. There's a couple of vacuum lines. You just got to press these little tabs in. They pull right out. We already took off the wipers and the cowl panel. It's just a few clips. And then I think there were a couple 10mm for the next one. It has us remove the battery and the tray. It should be only a couple 10mm. Move the battery cables out of the way. It's 10mm having the bracket for the battery. Pull that out. And then in the tray. Alright, had both the battery tray and the coolant jug both removed. The battery tray was 10mm. Just 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. And then I did have to take, I think it was like a T20. It was like a little Torx bit on the side. Other than that, this just slides up from the battery tray. So then that kind of goes out of your way. This will give us access to both mounts up top and then the shifting linkage. Some more hoses. On the coolant jug, it was just those 2 little tabs and then both hoses you had to remove. They're just clamps. Next thing we're going to do is come down over here. You have to remove this inner fender to get access to the PCM. You have to unplug. There's 3 connectors at the bottom of the PCM. We want to unplug that. I did start draining the coolant while you're doing all this. It's just better to do that so it gets it all, or most of it out, so you don't leave a mess later on. Alright, got the inner fender out. It was just like 4 7mm, and then the rest were just clips. Makes it a lot easier if you have a clip bopper tool like this, so you don't risk breaking them. After I did that, I got this, there's a box here, holds the PCM, 4 T30s, I'll take them out, and then there's 2 plugs right here. Disconnect those for now, and we'll worry about everything else over there. Next, we're going to be taking out the CV axles on both sides.
Cranking away.
There were 2 ground straps on the frame. One was an 8mm, one was a 10mm, and then this is the shifter bushing. Kind of just pops right off. Not too bad. Under the fuse box, there was this. No, not that. Whatever the freak it was. It was this right there. Just there's a little tab here. You pulled it back, and this swing arm just comes out, and it comes right out. That way you don't really have to disconnect anything up here when you drop the motor. There's this hose back here as well. All these random hoses, you just have to disconnect. I'm not sure if you have to disconnect like this hose since it goes to this cooler. I'll find that out shortly. Other than that, I'm working to the hoses on this side. I believe you just have to take these 2 off that are down here. Because that's the upper radiator hose.
Nice, nice. We got the CV axle out on this side. You gotta lower this control arm. We're gonna run you through how to do it on the other side. Easy up here. Gotta get this guy. Oh, you already got it loose.
Oh, the nut?
Yeah.
I took them both off.
I guess we can leave it there for now.
You only had a chromie that size.
Huh?
You only had a chromie that size.
Well.
Huh?
Oh well.
There's not much more we do up top.
I don't fucking know. You tell me, buddy. See, look at that. Nut comes right off of there.
Oh, what the heck?
So it turns out 18 this side, 15 this side. We're gonna see that will come loose now with the nut being off. We'll see if she spins. Doubt it, but oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'll grab our hammer here. Look at that. Alright, so now we gotta separate this guy to help us out. We're just gonna lube in here. And then we're gonna use leverage. We're going into this with an assortment of goodies. We got this guy. And oh shoot, look at that. Quick fix that. There, good as new. Then we got this guy, and if that don't work, then we got this guy. You know, I might just go to this guy right away. Oh yeah. Well. Oh yeah. We've got some movement now. So now we should be able to take our chain. Let's see if the little guy works first. Nothing wrong with the little guy, huh? What? Oh, there we go. Nothing wrong with the little guy. What? All right, got this axle nut. We're gonna leave a couple threads on because we're gonna give her a couple smacks. Oh yeah, just like that. I got that side out. The other side, it should just be those C-clips, so a simple pry bar should get that out.
Can't really help you.
So this is as if you didn't notice, this is the setup we're working with. Cinder block stands, you know, it jank, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So he's up there on the table, and we just got, you know, project, more projects.
Oh. Look like attention on me.
Well, you have a better angle, bud.
Right.
Alright, we're gonna disconnect the AC pump after we get the belt fished out of here.
I'm fishing it down.
Oh, I think there's two.
Oh,
Yep, there are two. There are two.
There's a stretchy belt.
Yeah. So there's 13 mils there, up there, and there. And then to get this belt off, I kind of just worked it around after I got the AC out, and it should. There. So now both the belts are off of the crankshaft. We can get them out of here. So obviously the small one's going to be for just the crankshaft and the AC compressor, and the big one for the other accessories. I think we might be able to leave the AC system intact. If there's enough room. It might be tricky though with that alternator sitting up there. But we're gonna try. This word from our Ford tech.
I did actually take off. There was like a bottom battery tray thing that was down here. I took that off. It gave me access to bolts that held down the shift linkage.
We are seeing a predicament down here though. If you look, the exhaust. So since it's coming out the bottom, we gotta take off this manifold, which we didn't want to do, but in order to not do that, you gotta drop off all this out of the way. So I think our only option is to disconnect the manifold, which sucks, but it's gotta be done. Beside that, I think it's just this mount and then whatever he's got left up top. All right, so all of the all the nuts are 15s except the one on top, close to the driver's side. It's like a weird special nut. I'll show you what it looks like. That. Yeah, there's 7 of them I was feeling around, and this is what was throwing me off. It's an 18, but all the other ones are 15. And now we got the manifold loose, so we could just back that off, and we're almost ready to be pulled. So we don't got really a lift, but yeah, this is what we're doing. Little sussy wussy, but got a 4x8. We got this motorcycle jack and the jack. So we've got it supported right now. He's working on getting the upper motor mounts out. The lower one's already disconnected. Right up here. It's this guy.
You ready?
Yep. I'm taking this one out next. Oh God. Is that everything?
Yep.
So she's free.
Theoretically.
Theoretically.
Yeah,
So what we're doing now is just lowering it and making sure everything's out of the way, making sure that it comes down nice and smooth. You don't want to happen to miss, one connector or hose, so we're making sure of that. So there's a coolant line that we're taking out in the back that you really can't get to. The engine's falling back that way, and with our setup we can't really adjust that. We're on the chain and we're going to try pulling it this way to prevent that from happening. We bungee corded the AC compressor out of the way. I think we're almost clear in the back, so we're going to try to lower it a little bit more. What was that? Good?
Yep. Nothing's obstructing you.
Still good? Surprisingly, this actually worked pretty good. It came out rather smooth. It was just getting the engine off these jacks that was a little tricky.
That wasn't bad.
Yes, it was.
No, it was not.
We've had way smoother transactions in the past.
Of course we have, but...
Oh, great. It's not leaking everywhere.
What are we leaking? Oil?
Everything.
Is that oil? Oh.
Yeah. We probably cracked the pan.
We did crack the pan. What do we do? Throw dirty rags at it?
Now that the motor's finally out, we have it on this engine hoist, and we're working on getting everything off the old motor, and then we're going to have to put it on the new motor. So here we're going to start unbolting the transmission and all the other parts. We use the motorcycle jack to hold the transmission up as we unbolt it, and it separates pretty easy. Throw it in this crate we have, and then clean up a little bit and get the new motor. Here we're installing the torque converter bolts. This makes it a lot easier than doing it in the car. That's why we pulled the engine and trans. And then we just have to swap all the other parts over, put the engine harness on, and then it's good to go back in. Okay, we have a plan of action. We're going to bring the engine over. We're going to just use the motorcycle stand or the jack. And then to get it in, we're going to lower the car instead of trying to raise the engine up. So we're going to kind of try to show you how it goes, but I think with what we got, I think that's the best plan of action. I wish we would have done this when we took it out, because this went a lot easier than the other way we did it. Yeah, so basically what we're doing is we're putting the battery in, and then all the spark plugs are out. So what we have to do is minimize the bearing load, and it'll enable maximum priming RPM to achieve adequate oil pressure. So we're gonna do that for at least 60 seconds or until the oil pressure light comes off, and then we're gonna repeat it again, and then we're gonna start the engine with the plugs in. After doing the procedure, we put the cowl back on, and then bolt everything that we need to back up, wipers, hood, and then we're ready to start her up. All right. Yeah. Not yet. Now, this wasn't the best video, as we weren't trying to prioritize recording. We were just trying to get it done. All in all, it took us about a day to do. And we were doing this for a friend of ours, and we both got paid $500. So, was it worth it? Let me know in the comments.